chug, 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 chug.
Welcome back to the Wizard Staff. I'm your host, Guy.
And I'm Blake.
And we are two drunk novices who like to talk about EDH. We drink and swear, so you've been warned. Please drink responsibly when you're talking about children's card games. Tonight, we're talking about the wackiest of the wackiest of the wackiest Magic cards, the new UnSanctioned Legends. Woohoo! What is UnSanctioned? Well, UnSanctioned is the newest addition to the Uncards.
What's an Uncard?
Oh my goodness, look at this. So, Uncards are the silver border Magic cards that you see. And around Magic's 4th or 5th year, a set of quote-unquote joke cards were pitched as a parody of the game. These cards were to have a silver border around them and contain art that often broke the frame, including obscene amount of text, random normals, and quirky rules. The first set, Unglued, had about 94 cards, and it was super popular. And that ultimately led to the second set, Unhinged, which went up to 141 cards. Then a couple of years later, we got Unstable, which within recent memory, Blake and I were both playing Magic at that time.
Yeah.
And that had about 216-ish cards. And that's the official Wikipedia description, 216-ish cards.
Wow, I didn't realize they were incrementally increasing each time.
Yes, they just get more popular and more popular. And I think the demand, because it's kind of a break from the normal Magic. Magic is taken so seriously from so many people, but this is a time where we can all sit down, kind of like make fun of the things that have happened. Like, I bet you in our next unset, we're just gonna get a bunch of elk jokes. Like, I think that'll probably come up as...
Ooh, I would love that.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny.
Rub some salt in the wound.
So, Mark Rosewater, the head designer, has often said that these cards are what normal black border Magic cannot do, but they could be introductions to what they might be able to do in the future. And Unglued was the first set to include the full art lands, an idea that was pitched multiple times by the original artist of Black Lotus, Christopher Rush. Since then, each unset has included new variations of the borderless lands. And Blake, have you seen those new lands?
Yeah, I think they're pretty cool. Like, I don't know. Whenever like a new full art land comes out, it's just like, all right, it's more options that people have to like customize and make their deck personal. I know some people are a little sad that these are not going to be in foil.
No, they're going to be in foil. You get, if you order the box, you can get 2 of each in foil, and then you get 1 of each in foil, and then I think you get 2 of each unfoiled. So I think you get 15 total, 3 of each, 1 being in foil.
Oh, then never mind then.
There is the other like normal kind of lands that you see in like almost every Magic set that are, you know, they have the symbol on the card. It's like a vanilla land almost. And the ones that are coming out with this set, there's like this cute little Easter egg where each one has like a squirrel hidden in it.
I tried to find them. I could not find them at all.
I could find most of them.
Even when I was told where they were, I was like, I still don't see it, man.
I think the swamp one is the hardest one to find. The swamp and the forest, I definitely had a hard time finding, but the island's pretty obvious, the plains is pretty obvious, and the mountain was pretty obvious. And I just had to kind of guess.
I like to think that I'm not dumb and you're just very good at like looking at art because you like went to art school. That's the way I like to think of it instead.
Yeah, okay. But so anyone who doesn't get the joke though, but the squirrels are often referred to as a joke creature. They were introduced in the original Black Border Magic. However, R&D kind of said, squirrels, a creature type? Magic? It doesn't really make so much sense. Like, they're not magical. They're just things you find all the time. So they
Yeah,
didn't want to push it too
throw
much.
some corn in the backyard and make them appear.
Yeah, they didn't want to push them too much, so they were kind of just like, what? Okay, no. But here and there we get squirrels and black border magic, but they often more times will appear in the silver border sets. We get a bunch of those this year. Alright, so what is unsanctioned? So we got unglued, unhinged, unstable. Now, unsanctioned. Unsanctioned is a silver bordered box set marketed as a ready-to-play unset experience. It will be released on Leap Day, February 2019-2020. The set combines reprints from previous unsets with 16 new uncards, and it will have this wrestling match kind of flavor. The set consists of 5 30-card pre-constructed monocolored decks, each designed to synergize with one another in unique and surprising ways. Each player combines 2 decks into one 60-card deck and faces off against another combined deck for some wacky gameplay that stretches the limits of what Magic can do. The new cards, 3 in each deck and 1 appearing in all the decks, were designed very much with Commander and Cube in mind, which is why we're talking about it tonight.
That segues perfectly into the question I was going to ask. Like, do you think people will actually want to buy this?
A lot of people are going to want to buy this. Unsets are popular. You're going to get the full art, really pretty lands. The real question is, when we had Unstable come out, they did that little, for 2 months, we'll let silver border cards be legal.
Yeah, are they going to do that
exceptions. Again? Yeah, will they do that again with Unsanctioned? And, that'll kind of boost the sales for Unsanctioned. It'll spice up gameplay in Commander. We're going to talk about them, but we got 6 new legendaries, and people will then be able to build decks around them, so...
I don't want to be a stick in the mud. Like, I love this product, but like, I am a Commander player where it's like, I don't really want to play against this. I like playing all black border Commander.
I don't think I am now very much like, I've settled into a play group. Specifically, if we all said, like, let's build silver border decks, I would totally be up for that. I do understand where you're coming from, is that you want your Magic to be Magic. But I think if you have a silver border deck, and after like a long day of playing just quote unquote normal black border Magic, it would be fun to sit down and do a silver border kind of thing.
Yeah. And who knows, like, maybe it's the end of the night, I've had like 2 or 3 drinks already, and I'm like, alright, I don't care anymore. I've already won 1 or 2 games. Let's do it. I'm not going to be a stick in the mud too much.
I don't think I mentioned this in the introduction, but this is a pre-game episode, so we're going to keep this short and light, and we hope you guys have a great time. Alright, so let's roll right in to the new legendaries. Blake, would you like to start us off with our first one?
Alright, we have Circadian Night Owl. Already starting off with a pun. 2 puns, actually. Great. It is 3 white legendary creature, Bird Knight. It has Night Lifelink. Damage dealt by knights you control also causes you to gain that much life. And it then has 2 activated abilities. White, Circadian Night Owl gains Vigilance until end of turn. Activates this ability only from sunrise to sunset. And then for black, Circadian Night Owl gains Flying until end of turn. Activate this ability only from sunset to sunrise. I think right off the bat that the second ability, giving it Flying, is going to be much more relevant, because like, you're not like, people go to work and like they work all day and then they go play Magic more towards like evening and nighttime, so you can like...
Are you telling me that you don't go to work and play Magic the Gathering?
I mean, I look at cards when I'm on my break or something, but like, not when...
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not... Yeah.
I mean, I agree with you, but I definitely think there will be times, like during a Command Fest or something along those kind of natures, where if you did bring this and like say you got to play it, like this would be relevant. It's cool, but I like the flavor. You know, it's vigilant during the day, and then, you know, on nighttime it goes on the hunt. Could go in your Sir Gwen deck if people are cool and can say,
that's the real reason. That's the real reason we had knights in Throne of Eldraine. It wasn't just to like make people hyped about knights again. It was for this uncard.
It kind of reminds me of how, like, in Pokemon, sometimes in the games, the video games at least, nighttime and daytime play a kind of a part in like what Pokemon you can find and what Pokemon can evolve. So like Eevee, I think originally could only evolve into Espeon during the day, and then Umbreon if it were at nighttime. It's cool because it just kind of changes the abilities. That's not the case anymore, but you know, it's nice.
I had no idea that's how that happened. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. All right, so we're moving on to the other thing, I guess, before moving on from Circadian. But we got 5 enemy colored legendaries and then 1 Wooburg. So you notice that Circadian has black in its activated ability, so white-black enemy colors. Moving on to Alexander Clamilton. Alexander Clamilton. My name is Alexander Clamilton, and there's a million things I haven't done. Just you wait.
God.
2 and a blue, legendary creature, Clamfolk Advisory Rebel. 0/4. Whenever you cast a wordy spell, scry 2. A spell is wordy if it has 4 or more lines of rules text. 1 in a red, choose target creature you don't control. Reveal the top card of your library. Alexander Clamilton gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of lines of rules text of the revealed card. Alexander Clamilton fights that creature. He's the clam that's non-stop. I like in the art how the gun is a water gun, since I know Magic has had a very iffy history of like including real guns, and a water gun kind of makes sense in this scenario.
It's pretty like overkill. Like they're making it very obvious that this is a toy gun. It's like bright red with like huge giant blue water containers.
I mean, it would have been kind of funny if it were a Nerf gun, because you know how Hasbro owns both Nerf and Wizards of the Coast. But and that actually I was thinking about it earlier today, and I think it would have been cool if they could have incorporated like Nerf guns into this, where it's like tap and then you have a duel with your opponent. Like you go outside, you both have your Nerf guns, take some steps, and then shoot.
Play Yu-Gi-Oh instead.
No. So the idea
I know what
is
you meant.
if
I'm just being dumb.
Okay. Well, the idea is if you want to build a really good Alexander Clamilton deck, you would include Yu-Gi-Oh cards, just because they are literal novellas on the card. Like, the text is like 0.2 font and has like over 100 words. It's ridiculous.
Just like look at, it's like it, like just any pendulum monster, just like even the vanillas.
Yeah. But any old Magic card too. Like I was talking, Animate Dead, Shahrazad, Chains of Mephistopheles. Those older Magic cards also tend to have quite a bit of text on them.
They weren't as concise, but like if this was the commander, you couldn't run any of those cards. And so I was thinking like, oh, mono blue, why don't you do mono blue planeswalkers? Because most of them have like at least 3 abilities, and then each line of ability is usually at least 1 or more lines.
But you could at least throw in red planeswalkers too.
Yeah, if it's like not your commander though. I'm like thinking of these cards as the commander.
If Alexander Clamilton is your commander, though, you can have red planeswalkers.
Oh
in it
my
because it
god,
has
you
red.
can. All right, yeah, I totally.
See, that's what
forgot
I was
about that.
saying. Like, these are enemy, so it's blue-red.
I just want to say I'm really bad at like analyzing Silver Border. You can really tell, especially if you listen to like our My Little Pony episode. Like it's taken me like 4.5 years just to even become mediocre at analyzing cards for EDH. And it's like, oh, now we're just gonna throw all those rules out of the way and now just like try and analyze Silver Border cards. Do it, you dumb fuck. And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I'm not smart.
Well, how the turntables.
Shut
I
up.
give my shitty opinions when it comes to analyzing Black Border Magic, but it seems that I have become the master when it comes to the cards that don't actually matter when it comes to EDH.
It's your time to shine. The day has come for your glory.
My time to shine.
Mhm.
Alright, move on to the next card. This one is pretty exciting.
All right.
You know why?
Why?
Well, read the card and then I'll tell you. I guess.
Okay. You're a tease. All right. I should have practiced this name. A Cornelia, fashionable filcher. It is 3 and a black legendary creature, Squirrel. It's a 3/3 that has whenever you cast a spell with a squirrel in its art, you get an acorn counter. Whenever a squirrel you control enters the battlefield or dies, you get an acorn counter. And then it has 2 activated abilities. 2 and a black, pay X and an acorn counter. Target creature gets -X until end of turn. And then there's also green, pay X and an acorn counter. Target creature gets +X until end of turn. It's a squirrel.
Wait, maybe I didn't write the notes, but what is X?
Oh, like +X and -X? That's a pump effect.
Right, but like, where does the X come from? Oh, pay X acorn counters.
Yes.
I see. I was not reading that correctly.
See,
though I
these
wrote
cards
the
are
notes.
hard. It's like my tiny brain can't handle this.
No, I mean, okay, whatever. But so, do you know why this card is so special, though?
I'm sure you're about to tell me.
It's the first Squirrel legendary.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, the thing that I was saying is like it's kind of weird that it's not primarily in green. Though I have some theories why that is, and maybe we'll get to that when we get to.
There's like 6 squirrels, right? In all of Magic.
Yeah, and they're all green. So like, why wasn't this one like at least the primary color green? I guess.
Well, like Snickering Squirrel is a mono black squirrel.
Well, that's a new one in UnSanctioned, isn't it?
Yeah, but it still counts.
Okay.
In the history of squirrel lore.
Okay. Yes. I suppose. But the acorns kind of remind me of energy, which we all know that was a broken mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
So is Acorn about to become the new most broken mechanic?
Dude, I hope so.
It's gonna be a 10 on the storm scale. Okay.
What was that card that like Aetherworks Marvel? It's gonna be like Squirrel Acorn Marvel.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I don't
Exactly.
I don't play EDH. I don't know about Aetherworks Marvel.
You don't play any EDH? What are you talking about? We only play
No, like
EDH.
I know I only play EDH, so I don't know about Aetherworks Marvel.
Oh, I see what. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Getting back on track.
Getting back on track. Anything else you want to say about the first Squirrel Legendary?
I don't know. It's like it encourages you to play squirrels, but the problem is like, all right, you can get like what 6 squirrel energy, unless you're playing unless you start getting like squirrel tokens from like Deep Forest Druid or like Deranged Hermit. Like you're just not gonna get that many acorn counters.
I mean, it also says whenever you cast a spell with Squirrel in its art, so that opens up maybe 10 more cards.
Wow, such a robust archetype. This can
I don't know.
This
because,
can only
like,
get better with time.
I don't know, just because like I don't know what's like the history of squirrels in art in Magic, in the art itself. So who knows?
You should just play Morophon, the true squirrel commander. I don't know.
I guess that's right. I guess that's true.
No, don't do that.
So I guess Morphoform was the first Squirrel legendary? Who knows?
No, not really.
Okay. Next we have Stet, Draconic Proofreader. 4 red legendary creature, Dragon Bureaucrat. He has flying.
Of course.
Whenever Stet attacks, you may exile a card from your graveyard. When you do, Stet deals 4 damage to any target whose name begins with the same letter as the exiled card. And then for 1 white, delete the first letter of target permanent or player's name until end of turn. So for example, if I were playing against Blake, I would pay a white, and then I could turn his name from Blake into Lake.
Yeah.
And then if I
and you could pay another white, and then I just become Ake.
I don't know if it stacks like that because B is the first letter of your name. We need to get Mark Rosewater in here for those like rules
Obscure.
flavor thing. Yeah.
Is gum food? Yeah, that's a ruling he had to do.
And I think the ruling was gum is not food.
And like, can you remove your like pants at instant speed or something like that?
I forget what
response.
the verdict was for that.
Yeah, it's great.
Mm-hmm. But
if you're ever flirting with somebody, just say I could take my pants off at instant speed. It'll work every time, I'm sure.
That's the real way to like pick up women.
Just anybody.
I don't know. I don't think if you go up to someone and say like I can take off my pants at instant, I feel like they'd be a little more
Creeped out.
scared or concerned of you.
Ooh, yeah.
They'd be like, "Oh Jesus, get out of here! Get on my
Yeah.
face." I was doing some reading for once.
Wow, such big.
Yeah,
brain.
I know. And Mark was talking about how they try to give this dragon the most undragon job that they could think of. And so that's why he's like a proofreader. So it's the most undragon you could think of.
He's just staying inside, not getting around out much, and just reading books.
Apparently.
But like, I don't know. I'm just thinking of Smog, who just did nothing but stay inside until he got pissed one day.
So okay, I mean that'd be kind of cool if I could do an altar of this card with Smog. But
Do it.
yeah.
The Boros commander we always needed, by the way. Just kidding.
Yes, this breaks Boros.
Number 1 best Boros commander now.
Okay.
Next
Next card.
Yeah, we have Pipa, Duchess of Dice. It is 2 and a green for a legendary creature, human noble. It has 2 and a green tap, roll a 6-sided die. It becomes a green die creature token with power and toughness, each equal to its result. And then it also has, for 2 and a blue, tap, reroll any die. Activate this ability only anytime it makes sense, which is really funny.
And why is that?
Just instead of saying at sorcery speed or at instant speed.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Usually
You
it's
know-
like usually it's like activate this ability only at sorcery speed, but it's like just whenever it makes sense.
I mean, I think that just gives it up to interpretation of, yeah, you could justify it for almost any time. So I guess it could be almost always instant speed.
It sort of reminds me of like with Mystic Forge, where it's like just for no reason. It's like I look at the top of my deck, all right, I do nothing, and like just like troll people. I'm gonna re-roll it. If you have the mana, you can just do it for no reason. Yeah.
Right. So dice rolling may not seem too complex, but it's often reserved for the unsets. Just because sometimes play into real magic. When it plays into real magic, it comes down to luck, dice rolling, and I don't think they want to make any cards that end up being tournament staples, quote unquote, that rely on luck.
Yeah.
And so that's,
Like the closest we get is like coin flipping, right?
I think so. And even then, they're kind of like, yeah, not going to make anything too powerful where it comes down to that.
I just want to say that this card, like at least mechanic wise, it didn't really make much sense to me why it had the activated abilities that it did. But then like the flavor text says when it came to following her orders, it was do or die, which I'm like, all right, I guess that kind of warrants the activated abilities, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay.
And it's like
then,
blue and green is like the Simic colors. It's all about change, and so it's like you're changing the nature of a die. It's changing numbers, so I guess that works.
I think you're going into it just a little too much for the unsets, but
allow me to explain in depth for my 5-hour TED Talk.
Why this unset magic card is the way that it is.
To mention the dice, kids.
Dungeon Dice Monsters. Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
All right,
moving on.
Last new commander, Surgeon Crossed Out General Commander. So 3 and a green legendary creature, Wombat Bat Chameleon. Whenever you augment, enchant, or mutate a creature you control, draw a card. Tap, add white, blue, black, red, or green to your mana pool. I think it's pretty simple, straightforward.
I'm lost. I'm so confused.
I know.
This actually makes sense. Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, the part that makes this like I think is its name, the creature type, and the fact that it relies on you playing maybe augment stuff, which is when you can play 2 creatures or play 1 creature and then play like a second half on top of that creature to like make a whole new creature that's bigger and more powerful. So I think if we do get to be able to play EDH with a lot of these cards, I think this card will definitely make for quite a few decks because people will really want to be able to play an augment deck.
Also, if you're confused by the word mutate like I was, apparently it's going to be a real black border mechanic, Mark Rosewater has said, and a lot of people are suspecting that it's going to be one of the mechanics in Ikoria, which is pretty, it's like a little Easter egg that they hid in here, which is pretty cool.
It's kind of like when they had the Zendikar set. They had Zendikar, then the second Zendikar, World Wake, and on it, or in World Wake, they had the Eye of Ugin, I think was the land, and it referenced Eldrazi's, but at that point we didn't know any Eldrazi's, so people were like, what's an Eldrazi? And then they announced like, Attack of the Eldrazi's!
And then you're like, oh my god!
So, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm realizing...
I guess I didn't even realize that mutate wasn't a thing, because I kind of thought, like, that meant... I guess I was thinking of adapt from... or monstrosity, but good point, and I bet that is where it's going to come from.
Also, kind of now on a different note, this, I don't know, like, I don't actually hear many people talk about, this card is obviously like a reference to like commander and like general, and like I have always gotten used to calling the format EDH and the card slot the commander. Like, it's really weird whenever someone says, like, whenever I hear someone in a podcast where I go to like the LGS and someone says the general, I'm just like, this feels wrong, it feels weird. But it's like, once WotC officially
it was a decorated general with a heart of gold, and likened them to all the stories he told. He passed down from battles of legends of flown. He's a veteran in his own time. On the battlefield, he gained respect for fame.
You actually went to see Hamilton, didn't you?
No, this is a real song, The General.
Oh.
By Dispatch.
Oh.
It's one of my favorite songs. I'm kind of blanking at the moment because I'm drunk.
We're gonna get copyrighted.
No. I sang it too badly. No one will ever know.
Don't worry. All right. Well, is there any more cards we should mention before wrapping up here, Guy?
One more. And this might be the most important one we talk about. It's the Flavor Judge. 1 white creature bird advisor. Tap, choose target spell or ability that targets a permanent you control. Then ask a person outside the game if the story of what will happen makes sense. If they say no, sacrifice Flavor Judge and counter that spell or ability. And I think the only reason why I wanted to talk about it was just because, like, we owe it a lot to Mark for bringing us cards like this. And this is definitely paying homage to him when he was dressed up in a chicken suit as a quote-unquote referee for one of the tournaments of the Unsets when it first got released. So it's pretty cool, and I think it's just funny. And it's really on flavor. Ha ha ha. So that's all I had to say, really.
All right.
It's just some more like Magic history in there for you, I guess.
All right. Sounds good. I won't be buying this set, but I can always still appreciate all the cards and all the effort that went into it. And, you know, if you meet me at an LGS, you know, maybe just talk to me at the end of the night after I've had a few drinks at me, and maybe I'll just play against your Squirrel commander.
Yeah, I might buy this just because I would also like to play with it as the set that it's played as. And I think getting people into Magic with this is also really cool because it's kind of not too serious. It kind of is still fun, I think, for people who don't know Magic. Like, it's not parroting too many things that Magic has done, but
I feel like you have to be like a veteran player to play with these cards, though, because it's like the game is already hard enough, and then this is like, I don't know, building on top of that.
I don't know. You can probably make an argument for both of the ways, I think, but it's okay. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you very much for listening. We hope you had a great night. You can find us on Spotify and iTunes. You can check out our YouTube channel. We are on Twitter at WizardStaff101. And we are on Gmail. Send us an email, please, at thewizardstaff101@gmail.com. We hope you had a great time, and we'll talk to you later. Peace.